All right, this is going to be a review of the market yesterday, Monday, the 10th of June. There was no news, so it was a no news Monday, and no news Mondays are very hard to trade because they're relatively choppy, they're not straightforward, and they're hard to understand. And so, this is why I think, especially backtesting this day, could be helpful to understand a little bit more of what happened. It's just not an easy day to understand. Some you could argue it might not even be worth backtesting, but I'm gonna backtest it anyway. So this is totally recorded on the fly, but we're gonna look at what happened and see if we can try and understand anything. So the day goes from there till here. That's the daily range. Okay. And yeah, the tricky part about yesterday, to me was, when I woke up, it was around 8 a.m. Eastern time, and I was looking at this 1 hour gap, and I saw SMT in the gap. So this is SMT, and I was like, oh no way, great. So the bias is bearish. And this really made me think that we were going to take out this low and this low. I was pretty confident. I thought we were going to go lower. We're going to take a look at maybe why I should have been more open-minded, right? So, if I zoom in here, there was actually bullish SMT right around here, and this is a key time for a reversal into a distribution phase. So this was the manipulation of the day, and this was distribution. Very interesting. There was SMT before the start of the manipulation, and then SMT before the start of the distribution. So SMT before both big moves. Let me get rid of this. This was the accumulation, right? So you got this like accumulation range. Then it kind of chopped up around. Kind of maybe thought this was manipulation. That's kind of what I thought. But then this is manipulation into what really felt like to me was kind of a level that didn't seem like a super key level, because you weren't in some higher time frame gap. You weren't in like high time frame order block, really, for the most part. I just kind of felt like this was mostly very hard to predict besides the SMT. And I think that's the kind of stuff that's going to happen on No News Mondays. You're going to get some stuff that's just going to reverse and wouldn't do something that price would normally do. So yeah, if I spread out what I like to call the ICT fibs, so these are like time-based Fibonacci levels, kind of to represent time zones, right? Yeah, the gray area represents accumulation. Oh, whoops. Red manipulation, green distribution, and blue continuation or reversal. And I mean, from the standpoint of just like, did it follow like a typical manipulation distribution phase? Yeah. Did I know what key level it went to? I'm not entirely sure on exactly, and I think that's just what happens on No News Mondays. You get these like manipulation moves and you're not entirely sure if it's going to go to a key level, it might just have SMT and then completely change directions. And so no news Mondays, they're not as straightforward, and I think that can really trip people up. So for me, right, if I was to go back in time and say, what should I have done on a no news Monday, right? Throughout all of this, well, I guess maybe you could have caught a short in here down to this low. You could have maybe caught a short there. But besides that, if I was, that would have been 5 a.m. my time, because that's 7 a.m. Eastern. Like, realistically, I wasn't probably going to catch that. So, at that point, this is not tradable to me. This is not something that follows my model, because my model uses 1 hour key levels. So I'm not trading this. And then what was tradable was essentially the 1 o'clock macro, which I messed up, but it was tradable. Let me see if I can pull this up. So I guess that's as good as it's gonna get. So this gap, and then what I kind of saw is this is kind of like a high time frame sweep, so I like to take the midpoint of that as my key level. Alright, let me get rid of these lines. It's kind of overwhelming. Alright, so you can see how price fills this gap, pushes into this mean threshold, reacts when this inverses. That was my entry, so I went short here, and we then proceeded to have SMT at this key level. This is a very amazing market maker sell model. And then the macro goes from 110 to 140. So the lesson on this trade for me is, take some off at the macro, at the end of the macro, because I was up about 3 to 1, and I was waiting for these equal lows to get hit, or I don't know where they are. Maybe those lows. That seems kind of far. But yeah, I think I was aiming for something in here, and it wasn't that it couldn't have got hit, but the macro was ending, and I should have at least taken half profit. But this was a beautiful trade. SMT at the high. SMT with this external high. So, that's crazy. SMT at the high. Internal sweep. Filling the 1 hour gap. Hitting the mean threshold. It checked all the boxes to me. This was a great trade. Unfortunately for me, I did get stopped out at break even here, and I did not hit my take profit. So, I'm getting better, but have stuff like that happen where it's like, dang it, I should have taken half off at the end of the macro. With that, Hopefully enjoying this video. I will see you in the next one.